So in the last few days, details have emerged from what the Kang's Dynasty was supposed to be. Really in-depth details have come out, which we're going to go over in this video, which make it appear to be a hell of a lot better than the alleged plot for Avengers Doomsday. And also some new details have emerged about and then who is going to appear in Avengers Secret Wars. And you guessed it, it's Tom Cruise Iron Man. He's coming back again, although apparently he was never actually supposed to be in Multiverse of Madness. So will Marvel actually reach out this time? We don't know. I guess we'll find out. So Deadpool and Wolverine is getting close to $1 billion, $850 million to 2 weekends. Doing pretty well. Will it beat Inside Out 2, which is the biggest box office of the year by a landslide at 1 point? Oh, damn. Inside Out 2 is getting close to 1.6 billion. Yo, so Deadpool and Wolverine's going to nearly have to do double, just under double what it's done so far. Will it break No Way Home numbers like a lot of people seem to think? I don't think it will, but it's doing very well. Is Marvel back? Marvel didn't really go anywhere, let's be honest. They just had a few bad movies. So, yo, but it's freaking good YouTube. We'll see you if you're new around and make sure guys who never miss any of the Kaiju, Monsterverse, Marvel, DC, pop culture-based content that I try to deliver on a database of good. Subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and let me know. How freaking excited are you for the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? We haven't really got much coming this year, except for the final Venom movie and the Agatha show, if you care for that. But we haven't really got anything on a grand scale till Captain America 4. So if you could check us out on Instagram at Warstu to see the B voice, and the voice, and if you could check us out on Twitter, WarstuG. So something interesting. Kevin Feige has dodged a question about Kang. Jonathan Majors came out recently, and he actually said he would return to Marvel. And he also said that he's a bit disheartened, but you can see why they've brought Robert Downey Jr. back. It just seems like they don't know what to do, so they brought Robert Downey Jr. back. Yes, I'm happy he's back, but they didn't really have to do it in this way. It could have been a big surprise. So as you know, you probably don't know, if you've ever done a press junket or interviews celebrities or actors or famous people, you have to get your questions vetted. Your questions get submitted before you get to said interview. And you get told which questions you can ask and which you can't. So Kevin Feige was on the press tour for Deadpool 3, was asked nothing about Kang the Conqueror, but he was asked a question in a Screen Rant interview. I've done a number of interviews in the last couple of days, and you're the first person to ask. Yeah, because all questions get vetted. This was probably asked off the cuff. I give you credit for just outright asking the question. I'll give myself credit for trying to invade it and avoid it entirely. So basically, what was the question? He basically was asked about Kang. Dodged the question if there's going to be a new actor playing Kang, which is a massive shame, actually, because if the plot we're about to go over is true, it sounds pretty damn dope. Technically, yes, you could say the way Loki season 2 ended, with Loki becoming Atlantis, or God Loki's, but he's pretty much Atlantis because he's holding everything together. But the Kangs are still out there. It's amply clear the TVA are still monitoring them. So is this a cheeky little wink that, yes, Kang will appear, but I still think they should have went the way they were going. Kang was always going to be the villain, and Doctor Doom was going to come in at some point, rather than shoving Doctor Doom down your face and changing the name of the movie to Doomsday. I still don't think this is the end of the Kang storyline, but it is very interesting. I can't see why they can't bring Jonathan Majors back, to be honest. He actually was guilty of a misdemeanor. It wasn't against the law. It's literally a minor incident that happened. But also, I've read something online interesting that makes me think he's never coming back. Marvel Studios / Disney will not hire new actors involved in controversies. They are taking a hard line when the actors are already hired by the MCU. They will be more careful with the next big casting to avoid a repeat of Jonathan Majors' case. I mean, yeah, that's slightly different because they set Jonathan Majors up to play like 10 different variances of a character. I guess that's why they decided to give RDJ's return as the big villain, not only because it's a sure bet success and hype, but also because the good relationship he has with the studio. New highly MCU actors must keep on the straight and narrow, but that's the case for every Hollywood studio. There is no forgiveness for involvement in controversies, pretty much. So, this is information that's come out. It's much better than the weak-ass information that My Time to Shine stole from another scooper. But let's go over it. I'm not saying it's true, but this does take in a lot of factors. And the plot information going around that everyone's talking about is so damn weak. It's just like, yeah, the Avengers lose, and that's it. So, the Council of Kangs attack Earth 616, and the Avengers from the scrapped Avengers Kang Dynasty by Jeff Loveness and Michael Waldron. The Council of Kangs meet at the end of time. The Council of Kangs are led by Immortus, as he is the head of the Council and the most powerful amongst them. Immortus possesses dark, mystic-like powers. It was originally supposed to be revealed in Agatha's series that the author of the Darkhold was Immortus. This has since been changed as Marvel was moving away from Kang. The Council of Kangs are extremely protective over the multiverse and authoring the Darkhold. was just many of the preemptive steps Immortus took to ensure no one besides the Kangs would ever reach the multiverse. It goes on. The Council of the Kangs' ultimate plan is that they want to kill every superhero and mutant across the multiverse as they deem them a threat of their beloved dynasty. And this is an issue that a lot of people have with a lot of Marvel movies since Avengers Endgame. No one dies, there's no real threat, there's nothing. Sure, you could say some characters died in Multiverse of Madness, but they were new characters. They weren't characters that pre-existed. Also in Deadpool and Wolverine, no one really died, realistically. Because as we know, all the members of the Resistance, including Gambit, Blade, X-23, they're basically all like in the MCU now, so none of them died either. There's no threat. There's no real consequences. And this storyline gives it a consequence. But as we know, we don't know if this is true. We'll probably never see this. Maybe they could still use parts of it, but not really if they're just going with a Doomday storyline. Immortus and the Council deem the Avengers of Earth 616 as a threat after Ant-Man supposedly killed Kang, the Conqueror. He's referring to the Exiled One. And also the events of No Way Home and Multiverse of Madness, etc. Oh my god, the storyline is actually fitting together and it's actually having things that were set up previously pay off. They're beginning to touch the multiverse, and if we let them, they would take everything we built. You know, the post-credit scene for Ant-Man 3. I really think if this was true, we were basically robbed of a pretty epic movie. The Council of Kangs agreed to commence their plan by attacking Earth 616 and destroying the Avengers first, and then purging the entire multiverse of all superheroes and mutants for their sins of the 616 Avengers. Now, that just sounds pretty damn cool there. The Council gathers its army and warships, the legions and legions of Kang's variants, let out war cries, echoes throughout the Colosseum. The Council of Kangs are now headed to destroy the Avengers of Earth 616. Slight as actual consequences for things that happen. Oh my god, this would have been so cool. The apocalyptic attack. The Council of Kangs launch a massive worldwide attack stroke invasion on Earth 616. The attack is biblical and the Colosseum in size. Billions around the world are killed in a matter of hours. Most of Earth is reduced to a post-apocalyptic wasteland and the remaining nations are conquered by Kangs. After the fallout from the attack on Earth, smoke from the fires around the world begin to block out the sun. Skeletons and shattered corpses litter the streets. The Earth has become a massive graveyard. This is the apocalypse that was doomed to hit Earth 616 after the death of the anchor being Tony Stark. Now, there's a lot of controversy about the anchors because they basically changed the rules in Deadpool and Wolverine. Logan was supposed to be the anchor in the Logan movie in the future that hadn't happened, but the way the movie ended makes you think that Deadpool and Wolverine are the anchors. So it's basically always been thought that Tony Stark was said anchor, but Kevin Feige literally said in an interview years ago, Doctor Strange is the most important being in the main universe. So a lot of people seem to think Doctor Strange is the anchor, but then a lot of people also seem to think that Tom Holland's Spider-Man is the anchor, but he disappeared during the snap. But as we know by the rules set, it takes thousands of years for these universes to decay. So Frig knows who the anchor is. Could have been Tony Stark, because that would have only been 2019, but it was also in the future timeline, I guess you could say, when Endgame actually happened. So I guess you could say Tony Stark could be. So this says, after the death of the anchor being Tony Stark, but Deadpool and Wolverine basically discontinues any of this anchor nonsense. I mean, the anchors does make sense, but the way they're portraying the MCU doesn't make sense. The Avengers assemble. The surviving Avengers and world leaders, along with S.H.I.E.L.D., retreat to Wakanda. Sam Wilson, Captain America, puts out a distress call to the surviving Avengers that are spread out across the world and galaxy. Captain America splits the Avengers into 3 teams to go after the 3 main councils. Captain America will lead the Earthbound team that will go after Immortus. Spider-Man will lead the street-level team that will go after Appurtenances. Doctor Strange and Clea will lead the cosmic team that will go after the Sanctorium. Oh my god. Actual plot points that are set up in other movies are paying off. See this? Even if this isn't true, parts of this does sound pretty cool. Way better than that other, the Avengers Die storyline that was going around. Earthbound team versus Immortus. Sam Wilson will be leading the Earthbound team that will go after Immortus. The Earthbound team will try to attack his warship in space. The remaining nations unite and also launch their attack as they do not trust the Avengers to get the job done. In desperation, they turn to S.H.I.E.L.D., who unleashes the Sentinels made from adamantium found on the dead Celestials in Brave New World upon Immortus' warship base. It's revealed that President Ross has given the green light to the Sentinel program in secret. It was designed to be Earth's last defense system against aliens and supervillains, or even superheroes the government deem a threat. The Earthbound team stand absolutely no chance against Immortus. They are defeated, with most of the Avengers dying, including Black Panther, Shuri, Star-Lord, and Captain Marvel. The Council of Kangs defeat 616 Avengers. Ultimately, the three teams all fail, and the Kangs destroy Wakanda with the remaining nation leaders. The only surviving Avengers left are Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Shang-Chi, Miss Marvel, Hulk, and Doctor Strange. Everyone else is dead. Oh my god, a movie with actual real ramifications. Captain America gathers what is left of humanity and the surviving Avengers at an underground bunker that Tony Stark made for the Avengers in case of a apocalyptic type event. Captain America plans his next move against the Council of Kangs. Meanwhile, deep in the Beyond Zone, Kang the Conqueror has won the battle with his mind-clones. He has now gathered his army of clones and is making his way to Earth 616 for an epic showdown between Kang the Conqueror and the Council of Kangs. The great multiverse Kang War is set to begin. Ha 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 ha. Doesn't that sound so much better than this other supposed leak? Let's go over it. So, Avengers Kang Dynasty was supposed to be this. The TVA began gathering anchors beings from across the multiverse, believing they're the only ones powerful enough to defeat the Council of Kangs. Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield were the anchors for their respective realities, whilst Tom Holland Spider-Man served as the anchor for the Earth 616. Like we said, it was supposed to be either Tony or Doctor Strange. It was never actually going to be Spider-Man. The movie was intended for a smaller scope compared to Secret Wars as well. All the trades were saying, yeah, there's going to be 70 characters in this. Focusing more on Holland, Peter Parker, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, and other anchors like Nicolas Cage. The plan was for them all to ultimately fail, leading to the collapse of the multiverse and Kang's creation of Battleworld. That would then set the stage for Secret Wars, where other MCU characters would converge for Battleworld. Yeah, the short one we just went over sounds so fabricated and so fake. Interesting enough, this one we just went over now comes via a random Twitter scooper, and it sounds a lot more believable. Sure, some of it sounds a little bit fabricated, but we're never actually going to know. But the fact that Kevin Feige won't actually ask questions about, is Kang getting replaced, tells me that maybe Kang may be appearing in some capacity in Doomsday. It would be a massive L, in my opinion, if a variant of Kang didn't appear at some point. I really think that Kang storyline sounds pretty cool with, all-out war and the actual Avengers being defeated, and not in the way it's written in the little plot leak that's been going around. At least, the Avengers fail. That's it. Doesn't say who dies. I mean, at least this other one actually tells you who dies and how they die, and it has a lot of build-up from previous movies, which sounds realistic. So you've probably seen news going around the last few days that Marvel is scrambling because they're worried about the movies, that they're going to get Tom Cruise Iron Man to come play a variation of an evil Iron Man or something like that. Pretty much similar to what happened with Multiverse of Madness. Now, the thing with Tom Cruise is, he is a director, he is an actor, he literally does everything. So do you really think he's going to come on board for a Marvel movie without being like, yeah, I want writer's credit, I actually want creative control on set? The only way they're getting Tom Cruise to play Superior Iron Man, yes, it would be cool to see Tom Cruise Iron Man go up against Doctor Doom, played by Robert Downey Jr. That would be so cool. But if anyone knows what Tom Cruise is like, just based on media, he literally has director's credit and creative control on literally every movie he works on. He's not going to work on any, even if he was in this movie and he was to have, say, a 10-minute role, he would want creative control over that whole sequence he was in. He's not an actor like Henry Cavill, where Henry Cavill literally, it was said in an interview recently, it's literally a text, and Cavill's like, yeah, I'm down, let's run it. You ain't going to get that with Tom Cruise. So if you want Tom Cruise to be Iron Man, sure, I think it would be epic, and lots of people are going to make out, yeah, it's definitely happening, and it's not about the money. It really, a lot of people seem to think it's always about the money why things don't happen. No, it's usually about creative control and what's actually going to happen. But of course, as soon as Robert Downey Jr. came back, these scoopers they're trying to get Tom Cruise Iron Man back again. Tom Cruise Iron Man doesn't exist because he's never actually played Iron Man. Sure, it would be epic, but unless they're going to give him some creative control, I don't think it's going to be the case at all. And also, you got to understand, a lot of these scoops for Deadpool 3 were completely so far off. But we run a YouTube channel where I talk about all things pop culture, news, rumors, leaks. I don't know if it's real when I report it or not, but I talk about things I think you guys will like. So when I do get stuff wrong, it's not me personally getting it wrong. It's the information going around that I'm covering that everyone thinks is real, and I talk about it because potentially it could be real. So would I like Tom Cruise Iron Man to appear? Sure. I'd be down. That'd be so freaking cool. Is it likely to happen? Probably not, but it would be cool. So like always, guys, let us know. What do you think about this plot leak for the now deleted Kang's Dynasty? And do you think we were robbed? I honestly really, really think we were robbed. I really do. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at WarstuTV, your Facebook and the voice. Check us out on Twitter, WarstuG. And I'll catch you in another video, guys. Very soon. Catch ya later.